Hi, I'm Vincent, and in this video, I want to make a complete review on Apollo.io. So I will tell you what I like, what I don't like, and if it's the right tool to find B2B leads. So let's dive in. Alright, so just before we start, if you want to try Apollo for free, you just need to click the first link in the description and then you will be able to create your account for free. Just to let you know that if you use the link in the description, you will get the best free trial available and you might have a discount if one day you upgrade for a paid plan. So that being said, it's time to start this review. For this review, we will start by explaining what is Apollo. Then we will see the pros and the cons of this tool. So let's start with this. What is Apollo? So basically, Apollo is one of the most popular B2B lead database. So historically, it was only useful to find B2B leads, and now it starts to be an all-in-one sales tool. Okay, so now that you know what is Apollo, it's time to move to the pros. And the first one is that actually with Apollo, it's very easy to build a list of B2B leads. So if I go on Apollo, so here I'm currently on Apollo. If you want to build a list of leads, it's very easy. You just need to go here on top and click on people. And then you will be on this page. And basically on this page, here you have some filters that you can use. And in the middle of my screen, I have my list of leads. So for example, this search is that I want a specific job title. So I want people who are head of sales based in New York. I want a company headcount between 11 to 100 people. And I want to target companies that are in the SaaS industry. And you see that with these filters, I have 32 results. So it's not a lot, but my filters are very restrictive. Then once you are happy with your search, the next step is to export these leads into a clean CSV file. So if you want to do that, it's very easy. You just need to click here on the checkbox. And then here you can give the number of people you want to export. So you can give a specific number, or you can select this page, or you can select all the people from the search. For this tutorial, I just want to click on select this page. Then we click on apply. And now you see that I have 25 leads selected. Then if I want to export these leads, it's very easy. I just need to click here on export. Then I click on next. And finally here, I can export my leads in a CSV file. So I export all emails. Then I click on save. And now all I need to do is to download my file. So in this file, you have all the information you need to reach out to these people. So you have the first name, last name, job title, company name. You have the email of the lead. Just to let you know that the email exported from Apollo are not very safe for your deliverability. And that's why I recommend to use a third-party tool to verify the email addresses, for example, with givemeleads.io. So you see that we have a lot of information that you can use to personalize our message, or basically to put it in your CRM. And as you can see, it's actually very easy to build a list of leads using Apollo and at the end get a file like this one. Now let's move on to the next one. And actually on Apollo.io, you have a lot of filters that you can use to find your best leads. So if I go here on Apollo, you see that we have a lot of filters that we can use. So you have headcount growth, list, persona, email status, job title, very useful this one. You have company lookalikes, location, employees, industry, and keywords. And actually you have much more that you can use. And if you don't find what you want with the default filters, you just need to go here at the bottom of your screen. You click on more filters, and here you have the list of all the filters that you can use on Apollo.io. So for example, you have the time zone, the years of experience, if you want to target a job change, the time in current role, and actually much more that you can use. So that's why with Apollo, even if you have a very specific persona, you can easily find it with all the filters that you can use. The next one is that Apollo has a useful Chrome extension. So it's already installed on my computer. And now, for example, if I go on LinkedIn, I have a button like this one. So it's Apollo. And when I click on this button, I will have a small pop-up on the right part of my screen. And you see that I have some information about the LinkedIn profile. I can get the email address of the profile or even the phone number. So for example, if I click on access email, you see that I have the email address of this person. The next things that you can do is to add this profile to a list. So in Apollo, you can add it to a sequence. You can write an email, and if I click on see all, I can log an activity or view her colleagues. So if you want to target specific leads on LinkedIn, you see that this Chrome extension is useful. And here, if you click on company, you have some details about the company. So you have an about section, you have where the company is based, you have the number of employees, the turnover, and you have much more information. So for example, here you have some news about PayPal. Now, if I scroll, you see that I have some similar companies, so Stripe, Square, and so on. So it's always useful to target companies in the same industry. One more thing that you can do with this Chrome extension is that when you are on a website, so for example on giveminutes.io, so it's my SaaS, you have the button here, so the Apollo button, and if you click on it, you will find the company details. So you have the about section, you have the number of employees, web technologies, and actually you can find the employees. So for that, very easy, you click on view, and here you will get the list of all the people who are currently working for the company. Then the number 4 is that actually Apollo has a lot of outreach features. So if we go back on Apollo, then you see here sequences. So if you click on it, here on this page, you can create sequences. For example, you can send LinkedIn messages, you can send emails, and you can call people directly in Apollo. So if you want to create a sequence, very easy, you go on sequences, then you click on create sequence, and here you can do what you want. So you can create your sequence from a template, from scratch, you can clone an existing one, or you can use AI to create your sequence. Here in emails, you can view all your emails, and here in calls, you can basically do calls directly in Apollo. So to be honest with you, I've never used these outreach features because they are new, and I use tools like Lemlist or SmartLead to do some outreach. But if you want to use Apollo to outreach people, you can do that directly on Apollo. And finally, the number 5 is that they actually have a free trial, which is always good when you want to try a new tool. So if you want to try Apollo for free and get the best free trial available, you can click the first link in the description. And now it's time to see the cons of Apollo. So in my opinion, Apollo is a bit too complex because right now it's an all-in-one tool, and for small businesses, it's a bit too complex. So you see in Apollo that we have a lot of things that we can do. So we can find leads, we can send cold emails, we can call people. You have some CRM feature. So for example, here you have your meetings, your conversations, you can manage your deals, you have some tasks, workflows, analytics, and so on. So that's why I think that it's not very intuitive to use. And finally, the last one is the data quality and especially emails. So if we go here on Apollo, we have filters here called email status. And here you have verified, unverified, user managed, update required, and unavailable. And here you have include catch-all emails. So actually, I don't recommend you to use this filter email status because the quality of the data is not perfect. And that's why when you export a list of leads from Apollo, so for example, when you have something like this, I always recommend you to use a third-party tool to verify the emails of your leads. And why I recommend you to do that? It's because you want to get the best deliverability as possible, and Apollo is not always the best at verifying email addresses. And that's why I recommend you to use an email verifier. So for example, a tool like GiveMeLeads.io to verify your email addresses. So at the end, you don't hurt your email deliverability. So if you want to find verified emails, or if you want to verify the email address from Apollo, you can try Give Me Leads for free, and you have a link in the description. So this is it for this tutorial on Apollo.io. If you want to try Apollo for free, you can click the first link in the description. And now, if you want to see a good alternative to find B2B leads, I recommend you to see a tutorial I made on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And if you want to see this tutorial, you can click somewhere on the screen. I wish you a nice day, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.